Blue Rockers, how are you? Connie Willis here. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. Crypto Connie tonight, along with Sean Worthington, the founder of CloudCoin. There he is, everybody. Oh, there he is. Hey, Sean, welcome to Blue Rock Talk. It's Crypto Connie night.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's CloudCoin night. It's good to have you back again. I appreciate the fact that we're going to do some giveaways, so that's compliments of you.
Fantastic. Yes, free educational kits.
I like that. Thank you. We thank you very much for that. Tell us about the educational kits before we get into anything else.
Sure. It's got a copy of my book, which I think is pretty enlightening. It talks about money and the future of money and what is the perfect money. It also has some software that allows you to password own or pwn our cloud coins, and we give you one of each different cloud coin. There's also some instructional videos as part of it.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're giving away some coin as well, or token, or notes, right? You call them notes or coins? Where are we with the cloud?
We call them notes quite often because, unlike Bitcoin, which is, has a huge amount of fractions, we have integers and we have different denominations for cloud coins, just like regular money. And so we've got ones, we've got fives, we've got 25s, 100 notes, and then it goes as high as 250. In the educational pack, you'll get one of each.
I think that's awesome, especially the fact that you're going to give away a 250. I think that's really cool. I wasn't expecting that. I thought, well, maybe he won't do that, but you are. I think that's awesome.
Sure.
Well, I know that. What's that?
So we usually don't give them away, but make an exception here tonight.
I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Now, okay, so they come in, like you said, 1, 5, 25, 100, and 250. Will that ever change in the future, you think? Will you ever do some, maybe a commemorative $2 or commemorative $3, or, even have some really awesome one that's maybe 25,000 or something cool like that? You could, right?
I don't think so. Well, we could do it using something called referential money. We could have it so that our cloud banks, which are like a lower level, could issue their own money that's based on CloudCoin. But those denominations are pretty much baked in the algorithm, and there's no way to change them on a high level.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, tell us about CloudCoin. Tell us about it. So for the people that have never been here on Blue Rock Talk and heard anything about the CloudCoin.
Sure. And so they've probably heard of course, Bitcoin, and that's a good place to start. Bitcoin was the first digital money that solved what's called the physical integrity problem of digital money. And the problem is that if I create some digital money, what's going to stop somebody from deleting it? Or what's going to stop me from making 1,000 copies of it and counterfeiting it? Or what's going to happen if the government comes in and shuts off our servers or something like that? So how could we ever have a reliable digital money? And Bitcoin solved that problem. They did it with their blockchain algorithm mainly. And what that does is it allows us to create a database in which we write transactions to this blockchain, and we can read the transactions after we've written them there, but we can't delete them, and we can't go and change them. I mean, so this has a problem where it means that the blockchain gets bigger and bigger. Now it's about 150 gigabytes. But it does allow us to track all the money, how it started, who it went to, or at least from account to account, and we can see it bouncing around. And at the end of it, we can see who owns the cloud coins. And it makes it impossible without some kind of quantum, computers decrypting it. It makes it impossible for somebody to cheat and to be able to counterfeit and double spend coins. So that's the Bitcoin. We've done it differently. And so what we've done is we've created a we've created a counterfeit detection system. And so this system does not track all of the transactions that ever happen. And this is good because you don't have to create an account. Basically, the money has all the accounts for itself. We don't have to remember passwords or sign up for anything. And this means that I can give you a cloud coin over the internet, completely private. There's no trace of it, Besides, there's no public ledger in which people can go in and look at everything that's happened and see the accounts and figure out which account has what money. So it's much more private. And the way it works is that the CloudCoins have 25 different passports or passwords or authenticity numbers, and these are tracked in 25 different clouds around the world. And so these are clouds that are in Taiwan, and Singapore, Australia, Colombia, and all over, Europe and Russia. And so they're in so many different jurisdictions, and they're run on different computers. They're controlled by different people. They're running different software, and so there's no systematic risk. And what happens is, when you have one of these CloudCoins, you can check to make sure this password is good, and you can do this in parallel to all 25 different clouds, and at the same time you can then change the password. And so if I've got a CloudCoin, I've got all these passwords, I give it to you, you know all the passwords, but you can go and then password on it, change all those passwords, now only you know them, and so you're the owner. And then when you give it to somebody else, they can do the same process. This allows us to have a monetary system which we think is pretty darn perfect, in that the supply never grows, and we can have 100% privacy. There's a lot of other characteristics that are really good about CloudCoin that make it exceptional.
And what are those? I'm going to keep you talking. I'm going to have you drink your little vodka over there, and I'm going to have a sip of mine.
Well, I'm actually publishing this thing for investors to tell them how they can judge currency. And one of those things is this physical integrity. So I could go through and talk about all this. We'll start about the physical integrity. So with any kind of database or any kind of monetary system, because the monetary system is basically a database that tracks everybody's input into the economy, you want to make sure that it has physical integrity. And what this means is that, number one, it can't be counterfeited. And of course, we have written our data or our money onto silver coins and gold coins because it's very expensive to create gold. You can't create gold out of nothing. You got to go mine it. It takes a lot of work. And if you're going to go do that work, maybe it's okay that you have it. The main thing is that it's hard to counterfeit, not that it's impossible. So counterfeitability is a big issue. With CloudCoin, we have no counterfeits. So we're the first currency that I know of that has absolutely no counterfeits and no possibility of counterfeits. The second thing is loss. And so physical integrity, part of that is that you don't want to lose it. And with paper money, of course, it could burn up in a fire. You might, with gold, you could lose it down a rabbit hole or something. With Bitcoin, I think out of the 20 million Bitcoins, 4 million have been permanently lost. So, I mean, that's a huge part of that.
Wow. And there's people that are looking for them, right? There's a way to actually go and try to look for those. Oof.
Yeah, the Bitcoin is protected by a private key, and if you lose that private key, you lost your Bitcoins. And so we don't have a private key like that, and we are able to distribute our risk out amongst many different locations. And so we can take our CloudCoins, instead of having them all protected by one password, they're all protected by separate password. That allows us to divide them and reduce the amount of risk that we have of them being lost. And we can also, most importantly, we can recover lost CloudCoins. And so with Bitcoins, they mine for new CloudCoins. Our miners mine for lost CloudCoins. And they look in their databases for any CloudCoins that have not been authenticated in the past 2 years. And they will basically mine those coins. And if it turns out that those coins have been filed as lost, then we can give the owner those coins back. And so you can actually, if you lose them, you can file a lost coin report and get those back. And so that's a big plus to the system.
Absolutely.
And another thing that it does, that allows us to pay for the entire infrastructure so that there's no fees. And so with Bitcoin, you have these fees, and they're pretty expensive. Right now, I think they're like $45. But with CloudCoin, there are no fees because, number one, our infrastructure is so inexpensive. But number two, we find permanently lost CloudCoins and pay for the system with those. So that's the second part of physical integrity. You also have to make sure that the administration doesn't just disappear. And so every monetary system is an information system. It has to be administered. With Bitcoin, the administration goes into monitoring the transactions, making sure that nobody is cheating on the transactions. And that's where these miners come in. Basically, they have the job of running these servers. They're also trying to guess numbers at the same time so they can earn Bitcoins. But they do a lot of encrypting and decrypting. And with Bitcoin, of course, no single miner can take over the whole system. And that's essentially, that's very important. And so with CloudCoin, it's the same way. We have everything spread out. And the more valuable it gets, the more servers we bring on, and the more it doubles, basically. And so that's part of physical integrity. It's just making sure that the administration doesn't disappear.
Right. And as you know, I talk with Stan Larimer a lot on the BitShares, and their blockchain doesn't have miners, so that's a plus, right? And the exchanges are like,
yes,
and that's all very quick too, the way they do it, where Bitcoin blockchain takes forever, and but that's all the blockchain. That's the blockchain, which you are totally different from. And that's, if you're just joining us, you're watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. I'm Crypto Connie tonight. We've got Sean Worthington here, the founder of CloudCoin, and he's telling you the difference between CloudCoin and cryptocurrencies. Those are on the blockchain, and there's the big difference. It's not even competition. They're totally different. So if you're looking for another currency out there, You've got digital, which is like the real, dollars and things like that you go into your bank or whatever. That's digital. Then you got the cryptocurrencies that's on the blockchain, and then you have now the cloud, which is totally different.
Yes.
In fact, it's in your computer, whether you have a PC or a Mac, and it's just like a JPEG, just like a picture, but it's got this great technology to it, right? That determines it being a cloud coin, as well as not counterfeited, double spent, or anything like that. Now that's we already got questions. We're taking live Q&A. It's a live show, and we've got Q&A going on. So if you want to ask a question, please do it in the live chat, of course, in capital letters. That way I can see it. So before you go into your next bit, you know where you stopped, right?
Okay.
Let's get a question asked and then go back into where you were.
Sure.
Sure. These questions start happening and then I lose them, Sean. I'm like, what? Where are they?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So,
No
Alupa, it's A-A-L-U-P-O, Alupa. Hope I said that okay, Alupa. Alupa. Can you have him talk about and explain RAIDA?
RAIDA. So the RAIDA is the redundant array.
I'm sorry.
That's right. And so this is what I invented, and this is what I have a patent pending on, and it's really something very new to humankind, and it's what makes the cloud coins work. And it is called the RAIDA, the redundant array of independent detection agents.
Say that again.
And this redundant array of independent detection agents.
RAIDA, R-A-I-D-A. Okay.
That's right. And so imagine that you had a bar, and people would come to the bar, and you had to make sure that they were over 21. And you really wanted to make sure that they were over 21. And so what would happen is they would give you, you would ask them for their ID, and they would bring out 25 IDs, one for each state. Or you can also think of it as 25 different passwords, because we're global. 25 different passwords, one for Russia, one for Finland, one for Switzerland, one for every different country. And then what you do is you open the passport and you go look up Russia's consulate and you call them and say, hey, this is passport number so-and-so, is this real? And, okay, that one was real, let's check the next one. But instead of having them all checked one at a time, we actually have like 25 doormen that check them all at the same time.
Bam.
And they get back, yes, it's all within a second. And then they say, okay, how many passes did we get? How many fails did we get? And if we got over a certain amount, if we got over 20 passes, then we know the coin is good enough. Because what can happen is that we might get we might have 24 that are good, but one of them's bad. One of them says that it's counterfeit and not real. Well, what we can do is that consulate will have trusted friends. and we can go to those trusted friends. Like suppose that we had the Finland passport said it was false, but Finland trusts Russia, and Finland also trusts Sweden. So we'll go to Russia, and we'll go to Sweden, and we'll say, hey, Russia and Sweden, check us to see if we're real, and if we're real, give us what's called a ticket. And what we call Krubers, get these tickets, and then we will go to the Finland consulate and we will say, hey, look, Russia and Switzerland say that this is real, and here's the tickets, and then they will take those tickets and check with the consulates themselves, and if it's true that they are trusted, they will then change their password to that of the CloudCoin, and that makes the whole thing self-healing.
Oh my gosh. I mean, at one point it sounded like you were talking about a Risk game. Remember the game Risk? Remember
yes.
Risk? It was like you're like, if they're friends with the... I'm just picturing the Risk game. And now I'm thinking, the CloudCoin game. We could really have fun with that. I loved board games growing up. So, and still, if anybody wants to play, that'd be fun. That's just amazing. And the way I always look at RAIDA is, and I'll just say it again because it's my analogy, is it's like NASA when they have 10 people on a project. Those 10 people each have a piece of the puzzle of the finished product of the puzzle, but they don't know what the other piece of the puzzle is, and all 10 people work on it separately, and nobody knows what the other's doing, but then you put it all together and there it is, it's real. So it's like everybody's got a piece. That's amazing. Did you come up with that yourself? How did you think of that?
Yes. Well, the first thing I wanted the money to have accounts and not the people to have accounts. And so instead of having people log in, I wanted the money to log in. The problem with that is that if we've got one place to log in, if the government shuts that one place down, then the whole system's screwed. If there's an earthquake and that system goes down, or a meteorite and that system goes down, we're screwed. We already have a system that's called the DNS system. That's the domain name service. We use it every day, thousands of times whenever we want to go and get the IP addresses of the websites that we visit. And that happens behind the scenes. We don't even realize it's happening. But this system has been up and going since 1985, and it's never gone down, even though hackers would love to bring it down, rogue governments would love to bring it down. They'll bring down the whole internet, basically. And they have just 13 root servers. We have 25. Our RAIDA has never gone down since it's been up, and we do not believe that it ever will.
Wow.
It's a permanent data structure.
Well, don't send that
and
out
unlike
there.
The blockchain.
Somebody's gonna take that challenge. You better watch it. I'm sorry.
The first thing I did was to go talk at a hackers convention and said, here it is, go for it, because if it doesn't work, then the whole project's doomed. I mean, it's got to be like the blockchain. The blockchain has to work. If the blockchain doesn't work, and we've seen a lot of these, by the way, blockchain projects where the blockchains have failed. Oh. And they try to say, oh, that didn't happen. Let's pretend like that didn't happen. It's like, sorry, you just showed that your technology doesn't work. And it's the same with CloudCoin. The RAIDA has to work. It's got to be a permanent data structure. Otherwise, it's just a failed experiment.
Okay. All right. Let's go to some other questions. Before that, though, there are actual hacker conventions?
Yes.
Oh.
So,
wow. Women do not go there and meet a man. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You'll meet alcoholics and drug addicts and things like that. People that just got out of jail. So a good place to meet men. No.
Okay. If you're just joining us, I'm Connie Willis, Crypto Connie. Tonight, this is Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. It's Earth's most interesting conversations, people, places, and things. And one of those interesting things, of course, is the world of currency. Now, we've been talking cryptocurrency, of course, and of course, digital currency is always out there. That's, what we're all used to. This is Cloud Currency, and this is Sean Worthington with us. He's the founder of CloudCoin, which the coin is... It's in the cloud. Tonight, we are going to give away for free 5 of his educational kits. 5 of his educational kits. So I'll tell you exactly how we're going to do that in a second. I want to take another question because we're doing live Q&A tonight. So if you do have a question, please put it in caps so that I can find it. Let's see. Okay. Patrick Konchak. Hey there, Patrick. Blue Rocker. Here's what he's asking. there's no change. It's all dollars, right? It's all numbers. He says, how can it be used as money if you can't give pennies and nickels back?
So pennies and nickels are fractions, and we can do that. But let's start with the change. So if suppose that I wanted to go buy something and I've got just a $2.50 note, so I don't have. They want to charge me 100 cloud coins. I've just got a $2.50 note. I just type in 100 into my application, and what will happen is that it will recognize that it doesn't have, the program recognizes it doesn't have change. It goes to a change server. It sends the 250 up to a change server and brings down two 100s and two 25s in less than a second. And so we have actually the ability to make change very quickly using these cloud bank change servers.
But
these cloud bank change servers.
But it brings it down on the dollar amount. It doesn't say, if something is $1.20, it's not going to bring out. You're not dealing with change. Excuse me.
It brings down integers, yeah. So it brings down something called an integer, which is a whole number, which is like decimal would be, a fraction of a number. And so we do not need fractions because cloud coins aren't very valuable, and so we can think of them more like the Japanese yen, which has been a very, usually when you buy something in Japan, I used to live there for 2 years, you buy something for 1,000 yen, and so they don't have pennies, they don't have fractions, it's all yen, and it's a cheap money. And so that's what CloudCoin was designed to be, where we would not need to have fractions. However, our cloud bank can do something called reference money. And in fact, what you were talking about, how you were talking about digital money, but that's not actually what. So if we want to, this might be a good time to get into referential integrity. So we've been talking about physical integrity. There's something called referential integrity. And when you go and you use your credit card or your debit card, the debit card shows you these numbers. And those numbers are supposed to represent green pieces of paper that are in the bank. And so that debit card references another currency. And this is kind of like silver certificates of the past, where you had a piece of paper, it said it was worth a piece of silver, and you could take it into the bank and you could get a piece of silver for it. This is a referential thing. And it's also like the digital currency now, it's called Tether. This is where it's supposed to, this digital currency is supposed to represent a dollar, but you've got this issue, and that's referential integrity. Does the thing that references the other thing actually exist? Does it? Is there more of it or less of it? Is there a one-to-one relationship? This is a big problem. And so with the bank digital money that you use at Walmart, you put your card through there, they're actually referencing money that's supposed to be in the bank. They could make a mistake. In fact, they could think that you have more money that you don't. And so often there's hiccups in that process, and when you go to buy, they will say, nope, you can't buy. You don't have the money in the bank. When in fact, you do. It's just that the reference that's on the card isn't jiving with what's actually there. And so if you've ever filled up your cart full of groceries and you get turned down on payday, it's because there's referential integrity problems. And so with something like Bitcoin, you have no reference, and so you have 100% referential integrity. The same thing with CloudCoin. CloudCoin has 100. It doesn't reference anything. It has 100% referential integrity. However, what we can do is we can have our cloud banks issue fractions like CloudCents, and it can take one CloudCoin, put it into a special bank folder, and then issue cents based on that. And then if you want to get a whole CloudCoin, you have to have at least 100 cents to be able to turn it in. So that's how
cool.
We can do fractions.
Yeah, that's cool. That would be a nice little.
But we're trying to stay away from.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah. He's trying to avoid it. That's the real answer. We are trying to avoid the fractions. I got you. Okay.
It's part of what the purpose of money is to help us to think about problems and to economize. And so if we can think generally we can think in whole numbers better than we can, especially with Bitcoin, where we have a Pepsi costs 0.005278, something like that.
Right.
Our cash registers can't even handle that, and so it's hard for our brains to handle that as well. It's hard to make sense of that.
That's right. You are going for the future, so you're trying to get away from that change and go, and get away from the nickels and dimes and pennies and anything like that anyway. So, all right, those of you that have just joined us, it's Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis, talking with Sean Worthington, the founder of CloudCoin, which is a coin in the cloud. It's not on the blockchain at all. It's very different. It's totally different. So those of you thinking it's competition, it's really something different. So a lot of you, I already know, do not put all your eggs into one basket. So here's another alternative out there to check out and see what you think. All the links are down below where you can get the CloudCoin, as well as find out more information on Sean too. Go find out everything you can. Watch this guy. No, he's a great guy. You're going to love it. We also have some past videos too where you can watch him. Let me get to another question here, and then we'll talk about how we can give away some of the packages that we have. Okay. So Patrick again has said, it's nice not to have to deal with passwords, but I'm worried with the Intel bug problem that if someone hacked my computer, they can easily get my CloudCoins. How safe is my wallet? Well, it's a bank, right? It's not a wallet.
So it is just as safe as any other file on your computer. And so what happens with these encryption things is they have to unencrypt the public key, and we don't have to do that. We're just moving files around. We do send some traffic out to servers and get traffic back, but it's not like there's any decryption or encryption going on in which we would have to worry about where that would be a big concern. So I mean, it's even possible for us to go through. We don't have to go through the processor. There's something called DMA, and so if I want to go from, say, the hard drive to the RAM, I can actually go right around the processor. I don't even have to go through the processor. DMA stands for direct memory access, and it basically is it used to be that everything had to go through the processor. Now the processor just tells the chip, hey, send all the stuff in this RAM to this hard drive, or vice versa. Take everything from the hard drive, put it into RAM. We need it in RAM in order to use it, but we can bypass the processor altogether with our process.
Okay, so just to be clear to me, because sometimes you computer guys talk computer, and I'm like, what the Sam Hill? Okay, so I have some CloudCoin in my MacBook Pro, and somebody steals my laptop, which is my MacBook Pro. Are all my CloudCoin gone? Did they get them, or can I retrieve them back?
Okay, so suppose that I'm a thief and I find out that you've got your CloudCoins on your Mac. So what I want to do is I want to steal your Mac, and once I have that, I want to try to get into your system using the password. If you've password protected it, then I'm not going to be able to guess that if you've done it properly. So what I've got to do is I've got to take your hard drive out of your Mac, and I have to plug it into another machine, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to then find the files, harvest them, and then I can take ownership of them and steal them. However, if you can encrypt those files, then there's no way I can do that. So even though I steal those files, they're all encrypted and I can't get them, and they're all protected by your password. So the key is that to protect CloudCoins is you want to, number one, make sure that all of your devices are protected by passwords, and number two, you want to make sure that those files are encrypted. And with operating systems, there's tools that you can use that, with Windows, it's very easy. You just right-click, go to Advanced Settings, and encrypt that file. That will protect somebody from stealing your hard drive. Mac has something very similar that is easy to use. Android has the same thing. iPhone has the same thing. So there's things that we can do to protect our CloudCoins by, number one, having a password on the device, and number two, encrypting them on the hard drive.
Okay, all right. Okay. I got to remember to encrypt. I also know that you suggest as well to get the Proton Mail, right?
Yeah, and there's another thing that you could do. If you've got a sizable amount of CloudCoins, you might want to store them offline. You might just want to put them on a USB drive, disconnect it, put it in a drawer, and that way nobody's going to be able to get to it unless they physically get that USB drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're transporting CloudCoins, emails are sent clear text. And so the government, our government, harvests all of the emails, and it could steal them. And so you have to switch to an encrypted email system if you want to be certain that they're not being taken in transit. And so there's not very many around. I think the best one is protonmail.com out of Switzerland. And if you get that, then you can feel confident that your CloudCoins are being sent securely.
Is there any way that...
And it's a good...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a good idea to encrypt your emails anyways.
Right.
Because they literally are getting taken by the government that they go through.
Yeah, I gotta keep that in mind. I didn't really realize you can do that. I've learned so much, getting into the crypto world and now the CloudCoin world. Just learned so much about computers and how well people can hack out there too. By the way, I mean you guys are the you guys are so into the security. It's amazing.
Yeah, Snowden's helped set up computers that would just suck all the traffic into them, all the emails and everything, and he could just go type in somebody's name and all their emails would show up and all their web traffic.
Oh my God.
And so that is, if you're a government, man, you can use that to control people's lives. You could find something embarrassing and you could say, hey, look, you got to vote this way or you got to do that because we're going to, expose you. So everybody should be using it, anyways.
Some of that stuff's going on now. Just watch any of the news channels. Okay, well, before we ask any more questions, let's go ahead and give away one of the educational kits because we have 5 of them to give away. So what's included again, really quickly, so people will know what they're going to win?
You get a copy of my book, Beyond Bitcoin, The Future of Digital Currency. You get the best software, the best Powning software that's out there. So it's my personal edition. And you get some videos on how to, about CloudCoins and how to pwn them and how to do things with them. And then you also get one of each denomination.
That's really cool.
So
I think that's really cool. And that's like basically when you're buying it, that's what you get. But when you do buy, you can actually even get more of the CloudCoin as you'd like in a nice educational reduced price as well, right?
And by the way, that's just for the next week. So after the week, it's done forever. And that's hard stop. So what's happening is the price is going up, and the educational kit sells them for 3 cents each. So if they go to that educational link, hopefully you'll have that, then they can buy up to $500. They can't buy tens of thousands, but they could buy up to $500 worth there at that price, and that's part of the educational marketing kit.
Oh, okay. They up to 500 until next week, and then that's it, and that's over. Yeah,
but I mean, they could buy some for their family, the different family members, and things like that. So there's ways to get around the 500 hard stop, but next week it is done. It is done. And the reason why is because credit card companies don't want people buying digital currency anymore, and so they're just cutting it off. And so this is, it's going to be a hard stop. I mean, we can, at least for this deal, there's other ways to buy them, of course.
Okay.
But,
and you'll figure that out and let us know, right, when that happens.
Well, we got that figured out. I mean.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, it's.
Wait a minute. Next segment. Is that something you can tell?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me write that down. I want to remember. How do we do it after cards? How after cards? Okay. Because I want to know that one. But let's go ahead and give some away here. Now, how do we give these away? You're thinking, should we ask a trivia question and then they email you with the right answer? The first one that gets the right answer. Are you at a computer where you can see?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
I'm sorry. Well,
Anybody have a way to do this? Let's see.
This might be a short game.
I'm sorry?
I said this might be a short game.
Yeah, it will be a short game. It will be a short game. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know how to give it away. You know what? I'll ask something, and it's the first person that answers it on the live chat. How's that? We'll go that route.
That sounds very...
Okay, so let's do a question here. Okay, just to see if somebody's listening. Okay, what we might have said earlier. Oh, okay. I got a question. What are the, and if I say this wrong, tell me. What are the 5 denominations of CloudCoin notes? Right? That's cool. Right? I can say denominations, right? What are the 5?
Sure.
What are the 5 denominations of the CloudCoin notes? Okay, the first one to answer that on the live chat will win the very first of 5 educational kits that we have of the CloudCoin. So I'm looking on the chat right now, and there's a little bit of delay, so there's 5 of them. Okay, there's 5 denominations. Got some good questions.
I could give them the sheet and tell them where to go to see that standard. There's something called CloudCoinConsortium.org.
Yeah.
And if they go to the standards page, that's where they will see pictures, the standard pictures of them, the serial numbers that go with each denomination, and the denominations that are out there.
Well, let's see. Somebody's already done one. Let's see. Oh, they're shooting them up now. Oh, he did it. He did it great. He got it. I think it's a he. I don't know if it's a he or she, actually. But I think it's Alupo. It's AALUPO was the first to answer it and correctly. Steve Picky, nope, you didn't get it there. But it's a 1, 5, 25, 100, and 250, right? Yay!
Excellent, yes.
All right, Alupo. So what does Alupo need to do? Email you at cloudcoin@protonmail.com?
That's right. That's right. And then after the show, I'll send her again.
Okay.
So that's at cloudcoin@protonmail.com.
Yeah, so write this name down, okay? I want you to make sure. Hope nobody else tries to say who they are. We're all doing the honor system here, okay, everybody? Okay, so Alupo, we want you to write to Sean at cloudcoin@protonmail.com, cloudcoin@protonmail, PROTON mail.com, and say, I'm Alupo. I got it right. Is that your son?
I've got a visitor with. Yeah.
Give him ears.
We're doing live.
Give him ears. Okay, so all right, so we've got that one. We got that one. Say, Alupo, did you get how to do that? Let us know that you got that. Okay. So Alupo gets 1. Congratulations, you get the CloudCoin educational kit, the first one. We've got more to go. All right. So Alupo, you can also send me your email just to make sure we get it to you. All right. Congratulations. All right. That's cool. So now again, if you'd like to purchase one, they're down below in the links. You can find all the information to where you can get a hold of Sean, some background info on him and his websites, as well as where you can buy them. I've got the links below where you click on it and it takes you right to them. Also where you can get his book too, if you just want to get his book. I think that's for $4.99. So purchasing the educational kit is only for another week.
That's right. Hard stop. And that's the end of it.
Man, that's awful. I can't believe it. Holy cow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But those of you that don't win tonight, purchase, because it is a fantastic deal, the way you've got that set up. It really is. And obviously a lot of people have taken advantage of it too.
Yes.
Okay, well, congratulations. That's really cool. Okay, a lot of other people gave it a shot. All right, so let's go back to the questions. If you have a question, please put it into capital letters so that I can find it. Okay.
I can tell you more about integrity if you want. If you want me to continue with that, I don't know if
No, I do want to.
I can tell you more. Okay.
I do want to. Let me write it down to make sure we get back to it after some more of these questions here. Okay, and by the way, we have 4 more kits to give away, so hang in there for free, folks. Dr. Kusho asks, how CloudCoin is protected against the double spend?
And so we have these databases. There are no shared databases all over the world, and they can only authenticate once, and then the password changes. And so these CloudCoins have passwords that change every time that they're used. And so since you can only use the password one time, it is impossible to double spend. It's impossible to get 2 passes from the same server. Now, what we might be able to do is get half the servers that pass and half the servers fail, but that's leads to what we call a fracked coin, and it's we can even have broken coins that cannot be fixed. They're going to be lost for good, or at least lost until they're mined. But it's impossible to double spend just by the nature of the way the database is. It isn't a state. It's either in one password or another password. It's not, it can't be in 2 passwords at the same time.
And that goes to the next question with Alupo, that, what is a fractured coin and can it be fixed? And you kind of just spoke about that a little bit.
Yeah, so whenever we have a coin in which all of the RAIDA says it's good, and that's what we expect, but sometimes RAIDAs, the clouds go offline, or they might be corrupted or something like that. And in that case, they become fractured. That means that one or more of the RAIDA think that it's false, but the majority think it's real. And so then we have to go through the fix fracture process, in which we start calling on all the friends to fix it.
Okay.
But this is part of the system, and it's nothing to be worried about. It's designed to be self-healing, and this is what it's supposed to do. When we first started, we showed all the fractions or fracked coins. Now we're just putting those in the background so that they're there, but people don't even know about them. It's just in the software handles it all automatic, so it doesn't cause anybody to worry about things.
So how are we doing with I love the, as you know, I'm a Mac person. You're a PC guy. The PC, is it called the bank or a wallet? It's called that we store our cloud.
Well, we've got, if it's encrypted, we call it a safe.
Oh.
And if it is not encrypted, we call it a bank.
I love that.
That's great.
Okay. So, well, the PC, the PC bank or safe, it looks beautiful. It looks cool when you all get into it. However, the Mac one, is it finished yet? Did you flower it up and design it all beautifully yet? Or are you still working on that? I was telling people you were working on that.
So we are working on that, and we have Navraj, who's our lead programmer in India, and he is working on that right now.
Excellent.
And he is finishing what we call the CloudCoin core. And the CloudCoin core allows us to write one piece of software that runs on any operating system. And he is finishing that, and then he's going to immediately go and create the Mac software. So the date and the time of that is less than 2 weeks from now. We hope to release the Mac version. It's going to be very pretty and good. And actually, it might end up being a lot simpler.
Excellent.
Because it's only going to have 3 buttons. It's going to have import, export, and then banking, so you can see what's in there. So it's going to be very minimalistic.
Okay.
Like our Android app.
Oh, okay. And what that means, folks, is it doesn't mean that you have to wait, because there is a bank in there right now. However, it's just not pretty and beautiful, but that's what they're working on, getting that good look for us, which I'm excited about.
Yes.
It's just more fun that way. Come on, it just is, right? Is Steve Picky is asking, is CloudCoin inflationary?
So it will definitely be deflationary, in that we have a fixed amount, and that amount does not grow. However, during the first 5 years, and we've already finished 1 year, we're coming up on 1 year now.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
We're in the process of spending it into existence. And so we don't have to do an ICO. We don't have to raise a bunch of dollars. All of our software developers, all of our administrators all work for CloudCoin. This makes the process slower, but it also makes it so that we don't have to worry about the SEC coming down and trying to arrest us or whatever. They can't shut us down because we are doing everything by American law. I live in California, where it's completely legal to create digital currency. And so the amount of CloudCoins is going to unfold for the next 4 years, and then it's going to be static. If the value of it goes up above $2 per CloudCoin, then we have it designed so that we can clone all of the clouds. And so we actually have 25 clouds. What we do is then we make more of them. We might multiply them by 10. And so instead of having 25 clouds, we'll have 250 clouds. We clone each one. And then everybody's CloudCoins split. So it's like a stock split in which they all increase. And the idea is to try to bring the price of CloudCoin down to where it is a usable unit of account. We want to try to keep it around the cost of a Pepsi to be one CloudCoin. This would mean it would go down like a bad, but what gives you a whole bunch more, you'd have much more. But what ends up happening with these stock split is the value never goes down as much as a split. So it usually always creates value.
Can you? I'm sorry to say this, but your Skype cut out. Can you say that again at the very end there? At the price of
Sure.
a Pepsi, you said it, and I think my computer said, "Look, I'm not a Pepsi, I'm a Coke." So maybe that's what happened. I'm a Coke lover, not a Pepsi lover.
And so, having a currency that costs $2,000 each or is valued at $2,000 each would not allow us to do good retail transactions like we want to do. And so what we'll do is if the CloudCoin is worth $2,000, then what we'll do is we'll just split it 2,000 times. Now you have 2,000 CloudCoins. This allows us to take our infrastructure and multiply it by 2,000 as well. And that makes a system that's much more fault tolerant, much more system administrators, much harder to bring down, impossible to bring down, and much faster. And so this is how we get scalability. And that is we add more servers as more people want to use it and as it becomes more valuable.
It's very,
and of course, our goal is to be able to take on the entire global transactions, and that's quite a job.
Yes.
And we're yes, and so we've got the technology that we think to do it. And
I know. I mean, I can actually see that. So I get it's coming up with this is fantastic. I just admire you for that. I think that's amazing that you came up with that. So
yes.
Samuel K says, "Where can I buy CloudCoin?"
Well, the best option right now is to go to your link that you've got there.
Yep.
And that's that's cloudservice.academy. Click on that, and you'll be able to choose how many CloudCoins you want. You can spin the spinner up until about 500. Hit buy, enter your credit card information, hit transact or whatever it is, and you'll get the link to it. You'll download them. You'll have them within minutes. So I mean that's the fastest way. But we have people that sell CloudCoins all over the world, and so this is hard for people to understand. They think that we're one company and everybody sells them at the same price. But if you Google buy CloudCoin, you can find all kinds of links to all kinds of different exchanges and different websites where you can buy them. You have to shop around because there's different prices at different places. You might want to buy them in America because you might feel safer there. You might want to buy them in the Philippines because they're cheaper there or something. So there's lots of different places. And I have been, in the past couple of weeks, I went to Chicago. I visited the exchange there. I talked to all these exchange people that run exchanges, and we're trying to get a big deal exchange going here.
Excellent.
Very soon. It's going to
Oh, excellent. I can't wait. Oh, yeah, I meant to ask you about that. I know you don't tell things until they happen, so, oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. That's big for you. What about, again, and you're right, check out the link below, because I have the link of where you can buy them in the educational kit, and if you get them through that, do that because you only have a week left, and that's where you get the educational price, and it's the cheapest, right?
Probably the cheapest price you can get anywhere right now.
Okay. So Samuel K., link down below, click on that, and you get the entire kit with it, and that's going to be the cheapest as of right now, and you only got a week left to do that. Holy cow, I had no idea. You know what that makes me do? I have to go back into all my YouTube videos and cut that out. It's like, shoot.
Well, we can probably, I'm bringing on ACH. And ACH is checks, digital checks. And so once we get up then we'll have another system that we can use.
Oh, okay. We'll have to keep my same URL or whatever, that same link, so I won't mess it up. Okay, so before I get to the next question here, maybe let me go ahead and ask that one. Okay, it's a Lupo again. Can you sync coins located on your computer and mobile device?
So we're developing this thing called Cloud Bank, and we're almost done with it. And what it is it's a piece of software that runs on the cloud. It might cost like $5 for you to rent it every month, or it might be some software that's open source, so you could actually download it and put it on your own servers. Of course, most people aren't going to want to do that. But it has a one place where all of your money is in the cloud, and you can write checks on it, and you can transfer from one bank to another bank. And it's designed so that you can go up to some retail counter, show them some picture of your money, and they scan it, and then they've got the money. Or you can, they can give you a receipt. And so there's all kinds of different things. That's all new technology that we're dealing with. It also allows you to exchange software from person to person. And this is the, we were working with Arise Bank. It's part of that bottom infrastructure of banking, person to person. So, yeah, that will be possible. That will be possible.
That's really cool. So a couple of questions from that. How have you talked to Jared? How is Jared? We're talking Jared Rice, Senior of Arise Bank. I spoke to him, interviewed him right after the raid happened on Friday, talked to him on Coast to Coast and let him give his story on Saturday night. I haven't talked to him since. We were actually going to put him on here on Blue Rock Talk last night. And he had decided that he shouldn't go on yet because he's got a hearing sometime this week. And he just thought that's probably not a good idea to talk anymore. He's got some attorneys to fight for him. So it's kind of like, let's be quiet and go do what he's got to do. So have you talked to Jared? How's he doing or anything like that? Or
well, I won't go into the details, but I think the FBI has his phone now. And so,
even his second phone, because he got another phone. Oh my gosh!
Okay. And so, but I just want to say that vision has not died, and that vision is alive and well. And so, you haven't seen the last of Jared. You haven't seen the last of Arise Bank.
Yeah,
certainly.
I agree with you. I agree with you. A lot of people say it's dead and it's over, and I agree. I don't think it's dead or it's over. I think it will. It will come alive and probably even bigger and better than before. So don't count that out, anybody. One more question here before we go. I thought that was a great question of syncing with your computer or mobile device. I didn't even think to ask that. I would have thought that was the case, but it is something that you definitely got to ask. Okay, before we go to some more questions, let's go ahead and give away another one. Okay, let's go ahead and give away another one. Isn't it funny how when you do shows or you work at your office out of your home, how like you have family, you can tell you're looking at family members. They're all like, yes. Hey, and then I've got like mom will be in the back and Penny will start, and Batman starts chirping. So I do my best to stop that. But, unless you have your own office and studio somewhere else, that's what's just going to happen if you're at home. So
the good thing is that you get to spend time with the family, but the bad thing is you get to spend time with family.
Yeah, exactly. Classic. Very true. I told you guys you would love Sean's sense of humor. He's hilarious to me. So Sean Worthington of CloudCoin, everybody. You're watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. I'm Connie. This is CryptoConnie tonight, and we are giving away right now a CloudCoin educational kit. So you got a trivia question of something that we said tonight, and we'll see if it.
Sure.
Okay, you give one.
So what does the RAIDA is an acronym? What does it stand for?
Holy cow, I asked that a couple times just for you to re-say it. I would never remember it. That's tough, man. They should get the rest of them. If they get that, they should win the rest of the 4. Okay, so ask that one again.
The word RAIDA is an acronym. What does it stand for?
And it's RAIDA. RAIDA, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. Oh my gosh. And a lupa, you cannot try again, right? You can't win twice. Can't win twice. But a lupa, please send me your email. Put your email on here if you don't mind people getting it. If you do, I understand. But I just want to make sure it goes to you and someone else doesn't write him and go, hey, I'm a lupa. I'm a lupo. Yeah. That would be terrible. You'll get 20 of them a lupa.
20 lupas.
Who's the alupo? Yeah. And then we'll go back to the question, to the other questions here. So once again, Yeah, Patrick Konchak said the same thing that I said. He said, no, don't say bank, the CloudCoin bank. He said, don't say bank, don't say bank. But yes. You live in California. You actually can say bank probably. That's a Texas thing, correct?
No, I try to say cloud bank, and there's actually a lot of...
Is there a difference?
Well, there's a lot of controversy within our own organization about that.
Yeah.
And actually, I catch a lot of hell from my own people about wallet, but to me it's like it is a bank. That's what a bank is.
Right.
And why in the hell does the government have the right to take a word and give it to some industry and say that's what you get? Because the banks aren't actually necessarily banks. They're also investment. I mean, that's what they do, these loans and things like that. And that isn't necessarily banking. So banking is just kind of storing your money. And so that's the way I look at it. And so I'm a little bit not happy about the government trying to come in and tell you what you can do.
I bet Jared's more unhappier than you.
Yes. So, if I get a letter to stop saying cloud bank or something, maybe I will. But it's, I think it is different in that I am using the word bank as a metaphor, and they're worried that he's actually creating a bank. And
right.
I don't know that so I don't know.
Right. Well, they got
maybe I'll change my.
They got Piggy Bank, another bank, and maybe you can spell it BANC, or maybe you can. I love Vault and Safe. I think that's great.
But the Constitution says that we have freedom of speech, and Congress shall pass no law. And so, where the hell does this bureaucracy come in and say, "Oh, you can't say that word"? What the hell are you talking about? So, I mean, it seems like it would be easy to win that in court. Of course, he's fighting the good fight, and we're going to find out about that.
Right. That's right. So, Dr. Cusho, and you're going to have to tell me again what it. I'm just going to tell you. You say if it's right or wrong, because I don't remember. Okay. So, his guess is redundant array of independent detection agents.
That's correct.
That's good. Good looking it up, Dr. Cusho. That's right. If all fails of your memory, look it frickin' up. So, Dr. Cusho, yay! He's the only one that went and looked it up. Way to go, Dr. Cusho. Okay, Dr. Cusho. So, I think that's great. Okay, Alupo, and then Dr. Cusho. So, let me just write down the winner and tell Dr. Cusho what he won.
He won the CloudCoin educational package, which includes my book, Beyond Bitcoin, The Future of Digital Currency, some really good software for taking ownership of CloudCoins, some instructional videos, and one of each type of CloudCoin.
Excellent. Yay.
To play.
Now, the winners tonight, are they able to take that and still get the educational price if they want to add more coin? Or do they?
Yeah, they can add up to $5.
Okay, they can.
Each time they buy. So they actually buy several kits if they wanted to, but the maximum amount is about $500.
But can they?
They do that by just going to.
But can they do it?
They would have to go to the website.
But can they do that though with the winning package that they have? Can they add on? Or does not compute with what you've got set up? You know what I mean?
Well, they would have to, I'd be happy to send them more CloudCoins if they go to the website, and because,
you don't have to do that. Don't do it. It's not set up for that, so don't worry about it. That's okay. So you win the educational package.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they want more than the kit, they should go to your website or that link that you've got there.
Yeah. Okay.
And buy some more.
Okay. There you go, you guys. So, Dr. Cusho, please. So it's not letting us see here. I'm not able to enter my email in the chat. Alupo, something that live that YouTube does. She
just sends CloudCoin at protonmail.com.
Yeah.
So she.
But I want to also make sure he gets it. So what you can do is send it to me, and there's comments and messages on YouTube. You can either send it to the message, or when the show is over, you can send it, and it won't be seen, but I'll see it. Is what happens if you write in the comments below later. You can send that to me, and I should get it. However, still go to CloudCoin at protonmail.com. And the same with you, Dr. Cusho. If you can try to remember when the show's over, and then it allows you to add comments, if you can put your email down. It's just a secondary way for me to make sure you got it. But nobody else will see it. I'll see it because YouTube blocks when it's something like that. Or just put it down and then put space.com or whatever, then no one knows. Right? Isn't that the way around it? So Dr. Cusho, send a hello and say you're a winner on tonight's Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis, and send that to CloudCoin at protonmail.com, and that goes right directly to Sean. CloudCoin at protonmail.com. Okay, Dr. Cusho, I love that. Good job. Okay, all right. 2 of them down. Good to look up. Okay, so okay, where do we go here? I love that one question. That was excellent. All right, Samuel K. Can you mine CloudCoin?
So it's impossible to create new cloud coins unless, of course, we split them, like I was talking about. But what happens is that our RAIDA administrators, every month they run a script that looks to see if they have any cloud coins that have not been authenticated for 2 years. And if they find that, then basically they found one little shard, one little piece of the puzzle, 1/25th. They cannot do anything with it, but they can send it to me, and I can look at our lost coin report, and I can see if that coin is part of that, and if it's not, then I can create a cloud coin. And what that allows us to do is for every 25 that they turn in, they get 1 cloud coin, and that helps to pay for the operations. So we could call that mining. That's the equivalent of mining, about as close as we get.
Okay. So every 2 years, we have to do something with our coin?
Yeah, we're actually creating software that does this automatically, so you don't have to worry about it at all.
Excellent.
But so when you start the program, it'll check to see if there's any cloud coins that haven't been authenticated for a year, and if there are, that'll re-authenticate them automatically. But basically, the way that we know that somebody's not using their cloud coins is if they're just sitting around for years and years. And it's very easy to re-authenticate your coins. It only takes a few minutes. Hi, Penny.
Yeah,
You just have to export and import them.
Okay.
And it takes about.
If I didn't
that
pick
allows
her up,
us to have.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I didn't pick her up, she would just be barking away right now. So I'm picking her up and letting her join the show. Hey, everybody.
Very good. Very good. She looks like she's very happy.
Yes, she does. I'm like, come on, Penny. She's a lover for sure. There's no question about that. Don't show everybody all your love and affection here. Hold on now. I'm embarrassed now. Let me go back here. So yeah. So every 2 years, we're not going to have to worry about it. It will automatically renew. But what is that? Why would that be to do that anyway?
So we have 2 problems. One, we don't want to allow cloud coins to be permanently lost.
Right.
Because if they were lost faster than they were created, then we would be lost forever. And second, we have to pay for the infrastructure. So we have to have some kind of fees or something. And so the way that we handle both of those problems is by basically trying to recover coins that haven't been lost for 2 years. We were thinking about 3 years when we started. We decided 2 years. We're going to wait and see what happens. People complain when they lose their coins. They don't like to wait for 2 years to get them back. But that's what we have to do. So it's a trade-off between those people that are losers and those people that are savers.
Yeah.
And the savers
There's always
are
a problem with those guys. It's just the way it is.
The losers always want their coins back, and the savers want to save them forever. But hopefully we can have some. The savers just have to re-authenticate them, and hopefully our software will do that.
Okay. So where are the fees when it comes to CloudCoin?
Well, cloud coins are exceptionally efficient, and so we can actually run the database on a Raspberry Pi. A Raspberry Pi is a server that costs about $200. Our storage is only about 25 megabytes. Actually, it's about 500 megabytes. And we have very low bandwidth requirements. And so our clouds are very inexpensive. I mean, one of our entire system would cost less than we think it's about 10,000 times more efficient. And so there's no encryption, decrypting, all this power usage, all of this hardware and software that goes into all these video cards and warehouses full of servers in Iceland that we have to worry about. So it's very efficient. Because of that, we don't need to make as much money. And in fact, we can pay for it with just lost CloudCoins.
I like the idea of it not being in my computer or not being stored in my phone. I like the fact that you're talking about putting it up in the cloud. And that's something you said will happen in the future. You're working on that now. I'm not happy that you have to pay for that, but you can have a choice, right? So you you can choose to pay for that or not. So, I mean, at that point, I would feel better, so I would probably pay for that. But right, you can either
a service that would cost some money. It would require a server, require electricity, bandwidth.
Right.
But it would be very expensive, very inexpensive.
Yeah.
And so $5 or less a month.
Right. And I get that. And I think it would be worth it too for me, just for peace of mind as well and everything. So I totally understand it. But you would have a choice, right? If somebody said, look, I don't want to pay these fees. They're getting me on fees monthly. You can keep it in your computer, so you don't have to.
That's right. You can run it off your desktop if you open a port into your computer that allows web traffic to come in. And so that's how our peer-to-peer exchange is going to work, where somebody can go to your computer, buy your CloudCoins if you want to sell them, or if you want to exchange them for dollars. And that's how our peer-to-peer banking works. And so we can all do that. We just have to open up a port, turn our Macs or our Windows into web servers, and they come with that software built in, so it's very possible to do that.
Okay, all right. Let's go back to some questions here. It's Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis that you're watching right now. Earth's most interesting conversations. That includes people, places, and things, and also cloud currency. There's digital currency, cryptocurrency, and cloud currency. And Sean Worthington is the founder of CloudCoin. That's who we're talking to tonight, and we're giving away some of his educational kits. We've given away 2 so far. I hope, Dr. Cusho, you know what to do. If not, make sure you ask me. Let's see here. Alupo. I use Proton Mail and use... Oh, I love it. Okay, great. Alupo, that's excellent. That's so good. So let me... He gave me... I think it's a he. I don't know what Alupo means, but I understand what Alupo means right now. So, at Proton. Great. Let me write this down real quick so I'll make sure I have this for Alupo. Okay, great, Alupo. Good job, good job. Okay, so Dr. Cusho, if you can give your email in some cryptic way on the chat, because they don't like you to put your emails. They just don't like any URLs up like that because people spam all the time. So I get that. So thank you. So we'll make sure Dr. Cusho gets it too. All right, here. Let me see. Let me get back to some of the questions here. Can you mine? Yes, Patrick is right. Mining is dinosaur tech, that's for sure. Okay, Steve Picky, how many professional developers are on your team?
So we have on our payroll, that also includes quality assurance people. So we have what we call our senior programmer. His name is Navraj. And then we have our Cloud Bank programmer. His name is Dale Clevenger. We have our virtual reality programmer. His name is Sergey Chernyshov. We have our virtual reality arts guy. His name is Preston Lesterman. We have our game designer, and he does a lot of different stuff, but we're making, we're getting ready to make some games using CloudCoins.
Oh, that's going to be so cool.
And, yeah. And his name is Chris Montgomery. We've got our SDK developer. His name is Josh Cole Bowman. And we've got, artists that come in and design things, and they kind of, they make the art for the stuff. And we have a new guy who's out of India. He's not being managed by me, but he is doing the user interfaces now. We also have a manager that manages all of that. His name is Sergey Ginsky, and he's out of St. Petersburg, Russia. And so, and then we have our quality assurance. We've got quality assurance. We've got Ivan. His last name is hard to say. Is Oskles, and he is in Canada. And we have Andre Babayan. He is in Los Angeles. He works for. I shouldn't say where he does his.
You shouldn't even give their names. But, keep them all incognito, right?
And then we have a guy who's in charge of spell checking, and his name is Ron Bissett. And
that's
so
excellent.
We're getting quite a group of people together. And this actually just kind of came together in the past month. Before that, we only had about 3 people.
Now it's just, you are starting to jam, I tell you. Once we find out where to buy it and how to buy it, which, again, the educational kids down below will do that and tell you everything you need, so hit that link down below. But and I love this thing about the exchange, but when will we be able to actually use it as currency?
So we're working on those systems right now, and it's been frustrating because we've been kind of stuck working on client software. We're still not out of that way. We're not done with that completely. But in order to be liquid, we need to be on an exchange, and we also need to be able to fit in with other people's software. And actually, CloudCoin lends itself very well. It can be imported into video games. It can be imported into accounting systems. It's the only one that can actually be discrete. It doesn't have to be on a public ledger somewhere. And so we are working on the SDKs right now, and we had hoped to have those done at the first of this year, but our programmers got sick with the flu, and we are now done with what we call phase 1, and we're just testing it so that we can get some beta software going. We just created the PHP SDK, which allows it to go into any web page that uses PHP. And we did the C++ SDK, so now it can go into C++ applications. And we're getting very close to being done with the Unity SDT, which allows it to go into any video games. And then we're going to go into Python, Ruby, and all these other languages. So we're going to try to make it so that any program in the world can just take our code, put it in there.
What?
And we're just at the cusp of that, of doing that. And so we're going to go down to the Game Developers Conference. Excellent. It's going to be in March. And we're going to demonstrate to the world that here's the first crossover currency. It goes in virtual reality. It comes out of virtual reality into reality. So it goes anywhere you want to put it. First one in the world.
Wow. Oh, looking forward to that. I know you have a whole lot of things up your sleeve. So it's nice when you kind of spill some of those out. And that was one right there. How high, Samuel K. says, asks, how high could the price go compared to the dollar? And before the split, at where will it remain if that's the goal?
So if people start using CloudCoin, which I think will happen, we'll dominate. It's just a matter of time once we get our act together. And that's going to make people want to use the dollar a lot less. And so I would see that the price of the dollar, the value of the dollar would go down. It's going down. I think it will continue to go down. And at some point, it'll become really not very valuable at all. And we've, of course, seen that with the Venezuelan Bolivar. And I think that our Federal Reserve has the sense to try to raise the interest rates to try to keep the value up and keep it from sinking down. But I think it's very possible that we've already printed out too much money. It's all over the world, and it can come flooding back in. And the government needs to borrow in order to finance its situations, and the banks need to borrow money and create money in order to make loans. And so it's I could see it going, the dollar, I could see it just doing what the Bolivar is doing. That's losing its value, losing its value, losing its value until nobody wants to use it.
Well, you were talking, well, let me go ahead and get another one here, and then I'll ask some of my questions that I have too. Steve Pickey asked, What is the programming language for CloudCoin? I think you just answered that, but what is the program language?
So CloudCoin is data. It's pure data, and it's separated from logic. And so we can use any language to create any kind of software for CloudCoin. And so the back end uses all kinds of different languages, and the front end, we are actually we're creating it in all kinds of different languages. Now we've tried to just do it in C# to get some really, we call it the core. We're trying to make this one piece of software that works very well and can run on everything. So C# for our clients right now is the major language that we use. Will
it have an API?
Yes. And so we've already got an API. And if you go to CloudCoin Consortium or go to the standards page, all of the very detailed API stuff for programmers.
Okay, and where is that again?
And we've already had. That's at cloudcoinconsortium.org.
Okay. And I have that link down below, I believe, too, so you can check that out. No, you just cut out on Skype, that's all. So I wanted you to make sure you
Sorry
said
about that.
Yeah. How dare you? Okay. Let's go ahead and give away another educational kit here. Dr. Kusho has one. Please make sure that you get a hold of Sean at cloudcoin@protonmail.com to make sure you get your cloud kit. In fact, go ahead and email him now so you know you got it. Alupo, still email him as well, because I want to make sure that I just want to kind of double it. That's why I got your email, just to make sure we know too. So we can make sure you guys get it, nobody else does. All right, so let's go ahead and ask another question here. Do you have another one in mind for someone?
Sure, I've got an easy one.
Okay, go
ahead.
Easy
one.
Go for
that
it.
Is what is the URL for the CloudCoin wiki? There's a CloudCoin wiki out there in which you can ask questions, or you can read about CloudCoins, and it's supported by all of our different consortium members. So lots of people write to it. It's a good source of information about CloudCoins, and it's cool. And so, what is the URL? How would you find our wiki for CloudCoin?
Okay, well, they got to look it up. Somebody's going to go look it up.
Probably.
What?
I said they probably will.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have to Google that.
So, what is the CloudCoin wiki URL? The CloudCoin
That's right.
wiki URL. Well, no one, I guess I make the rules, right? So I could look myself.
That's right.
So Alupo has sent the email to get the first one. So Dr. Kusho won the second one, and we are looking for the third winner right now. What is the URL of the CloudCoin wiki? Right?
That's right.
Wow, okay. All right. So it's delayed, so we'll watch over here and see who's got that. In the meantime, when they put it up, I'll ask you what's real. So in the meantime, you're saying that no cryptocurrencies, credit cards are not going to be able to buy cryptocurrencies anymore. And you're saying that you are considered a cryptocurrency at that point, even though, well, you're not on the blockchain. So are you still a cryptocurrency even though you're not on the blockchain? What is cryptocurrency?
Well, we used to call it digital currency before Bitcoin came along. We called Bitcoin digital currency for a long time, and then somebody came up with the name of cryptocurrency because they were basically, people would take the Bitcoin's code, it's all open source, they would just copy it and they would create these ICOs and they would say that it was for another reason, but it's all the same code, and so they were just cryptocurrencies. It was because the blockchain was the first and only to solve the physical integrity problem. That was really the only viable digital currency that there was, is cryptocurrencies. But there are now other viable things, at least one, and that is the CloudCoin.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, because I was told now digital currencies are like U.S. dollar, that kind of the normal kind of stuff because it's digital online.
But that's not really digital currency. Those are just things that reference digital currency.
Okay.
And so I can say that you've got a certain amount of money, but it doesn't mean that you do. And so a real digital currency, I mean, the dollar is a paper bill, and it's supposed to be paper, and you're supposed to be able to go into your bank and pull out all the paper that you want. And so it's just a referential issue, and but it's not a real currency. The dollar is not a digital currency.
Yeah, I don't even hold money in my hand anymore. It's just a card anyway. But since we're not using so somebody has said, hey, no more credit cards buying the cryptocurrency, no more.
Well, the credit cards companies understand that when they allow people to buy Bitcoin with their credit cards, they're going to lose their asses, because the bubble is basically built on people buying digital currencies with credit cards and taking out mortgages on their home. That's what's caused it to go up so much. And they're a little bit late. They should have done this, about 4 months ago. But so they're just trying to keep themselves from taking losses, because if I take out 10,000 and buy Bitcoin right now, it's probably going to go down to, the price of Bitcoin is probably going to go down from 6,000 what it is now and down to maybe even 2,000. And then the credit card companies are going to go broke because everybody's going to go bankrupt.
Well, I do know people that were taking cards and putting a lot of it just on their card. So yeah, I'm sure of that. No one has come up with your URL. That was a bad question. Your question sucks.
That would be easy.
So what is it, so people will know? And I'll ask another question.
It's cloudcoinwiki.com.
Cloudcoinwiki.com. So now you guys at least know that, cloudcoinwiki.com. So I'm going to ask another question so that somebody can win the third one. And that question is, what is the name of Sean's book that he wrote? What is the name of Sean's book, eBook that he wrote? We mentioned it earlier, and it is down in the description. But what is the name of Sean's book that he wrote? And you will be the winner of the third educational kit, the CloudCoin kit, that only one more week it's going to be available for you. And gosh, that's so sad. Okay, so while we wait for that answer, so you can't use credit cards in the future. How are people in the next, week or month? Is that what you said? How are they going to be able to buy CloudCoin or any crypto coin?
Well, so they can do things that they can buy things that might not seem like they're. It's possible that they could buy like RAIDA services. I mean, there's kind of these different ways that are around it, and they can certainly use a lot of different other systems, like they can use PayPal, and so there's all these sellers all over the world, and they take all kinds of different payment systems, and certainly you can pay with like ACH, and you can pay with some people can pay with Western Union, although they're not very happy about people buying digital currency either. And you can buy with bank transfer. Oh. So there's lots of different ways to pay.
Okay, there are ways.
You can just mail a personal check to America. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So here's a problem. When you ask for a URL, that is what YouTube will not allow on the chat. So people gave answers, but I never saw them. So somebody just said, Connie, I answered you. Steve Picky said, I gave you the answer at 11:31, which is on the timetable. But you know what? I wondered why I was a little quiet there for a while, because people were putting the URL down, and you can't do that. That's why I couldn't get the email and things like that. So
sorry.
That was
we got to give them a
What's wrong with us? So, that's what happened there. So, you know what? We'll take the answer for what is the name of the book, and don't give it a URL. But Steve, we're going to go ahead and give you the third one just because you answered that, and you said it was the last answer, and you gave it to us. I'm sure I can trust you, so I'm going to go with that. You're a blue rocker, and I know that. So we'll give you the third one, Steve Picky, and then the fourth one will go with whoever can say what Sean's book is that he wrote, the ebook that he wrote. That's on sale. What is it? $4.99 is on the link that I have below. So
just raise the price.
We won't do that again. Okay, so I'm going to put Steve Picky. Hold on here. Steve Picky is going to get the third one. And whoever knows what Sean's book is, his eBook, and again, it's in the description below, but see if you got it in your own memory. So, Steve, please also contact Sean at CloudCoin at protonmail.com. CloudCoin at protonmail.com. I think I also have that in the description below. And Steve, if you can also figure out how you can send me the answer too, that's good. I think it's great that you have this educational kit because, you know, even though you're not on the blockchain, you know, and you're cloud currency and not cryptocurrency, it's still, you know, still people put it in a whole, you know, kind of that same realm that it's not the normal currency. So, but on the crypto, it's not that easy to figure out this stuff. So I love that you have the educational kit. I think that's really cool. And I thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. CloudCoin man. Okay. So let's see. So Steve Picky's got that. Okay. He's going to give me his email. Dr. Cusho, if you are still there, Dr. Cusho, please send your email if you can. If not, just make sure that you get a hold of Sean at CloudCoin at protonmail.com. Steve's giving me his. So while we're waiting for the other answer, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you come up with this? I mean, it's cool. It's CloudCoin. It's interesting. It's unique. It's one of a kind.
Well, I have really studied quite a lot about information systems, and I've been educating myself on the subject for decades, and I teach it. So whenever you teach it, you tend to learn it very well. I'm a Microsoft certified systems engineer in 3 different operating systems. I'm a Microsoft certified database administrator. I'm a Cisco certified academy instructor. I've got like 30 different professional certifications, and I've also have master's degrees and have completed all of my PhD coursework. I'm all but dissertation. And so I'm pretty educated on this stuff, and was working on my dissertation and realized that all a monetary system is an information system. And when I figured that out, I figured out that money is data. And I wrote a email to a PhD in economics and said, hey, have you ever heard anybody say this? Does this sound like somebody else's work that they've already done and figured this out? And they said no, they hadn't ever heard it before. And I looked around to see if this was something original. And I realized that, it was pretty shocking, but I decided that the people that have the PhDs in economics all throughout history, and the people with Nobel Prizes, they actually don't know anything about information systems. They don't know about data. They don't know about information. They don't know these very important things, and so they would not be able to understand money. They would not be able to figure out what is the best money. And so this is a big deal to be able to take a philosophically normative approach, and that basically means how can we say what is moral money, what is good money, what is the best money that we should have? There's nothing in economics about what is the perfect money. There's something called the perfect market, in which they study how we can create the perfect market where sellers and buyers come together and they know all the information. But I think I've come up with the first model of what is perfect money, and we've implemented that with CloudCoin. And we're just getting started. We're looking at tally sticks. We got digital tally sticks going on. We're working on systems.
I love it. I love all the stuff you've got going. In fact, tell as much as you want. Hold on, though. Let me check here. We got a fight going on of who said, gave the URL at what time, their screenshots and everything.
Let's give them both of them. Let's give it to them both, I say.
I agree. Okay, so Steve Picky, we're going to give you it as well as Samuel K. So I appreciate that you guys are here. So, what happens on a weeknight, sometimes this late, there's not as many people, but they end up watching it archived later, so that's where it all adds up. So Samuel K, you're on, all right? You're on. But nobody's come up with your book. No one's come up with your book. They're fighting on the other. It's delayed, so that makes a difference. But Samuel K, you're also going to get a book. And the last educational kit, and the last person or the first person, the last one we give away is going to be the first person that comes up with the name of Sean's book. Now, Patrick, I don't know what it is, but whatever you keep writing, the messages are retract. So I don't know if you retract them or you're saying something that can't go on. Okay. Oh, Dr. Cusho's back. Hold on here. So while I'm getting this information, doing the clerical stuff, tell us some of the good stuff that's coming up with CloudCoin that you can, because it's exciting, the ideas that you have.
Well, we actually have been told by our lawyers, because we're now getting lawyers, to not talk about what we're doing because we'll give other people ideas, and they will steal from us.
Oops.
I can tell you something that's, well, I don't know if I should talk. It's going to tell you something that we hope to release in the next couple of weeks, and that nobody, I don't think, could beat us to it. But that is that since the RAIDA is a counterfeit detection system, it can be used for a lot of different things. So it can be used for money, which we're doing with CloudCoin, but it can also be used to do a stock exchange, and it can also be used to do collectibles, where we can have collectibles that are unique, digital collectibles that only one person can own. And so that's something that's very unique. And we saw some of that with these CryptoKitties. So CryptoKitties was a big thing. It brought down Ethereum for a while. And there's a lot of money involved with that, a lot of value that people are trying to do with these CryptoKitties. We can do the same thing, only we can do it much better. And so we're going to start doing some collectibles probably within the next month.
Yeah. My dad would always say, don't tell all your business, right? So that's what your attorneys are saying too. Don't tell all your business.
That's right. But that one, it's going to happen so fast, I don't think that anybody could react to it.
I know, that's for sure. I think you're right there too. Okay, wait a minute here. Patrick Conshack. Patrick, all right, Beyond Bitcoin. Yay, Patrick. I was thinking Patrick would have won a long time ago, believe it or not. So we got it. Patrick Conshack has the last and final giveaway of the educational kit. He guessed it at Beyond Bitcoin. Patrick and Samuel K., if you both can send me, your email here, even though I just want it just for verification reasons. That's all I want it for, because I want all of you guys to go ahead and write CloudCoin at protonmail.com. Go ahead and write Sean at CloudCoin at protonmail.com and give your name, and he'll make sure you get the kit. That way you go directly to him and he gets it right to you. And then, but I'm just getting your email just to make sure we confirm it, so that somebody else doesn't say, hey, later on when they watch it archived, they're going to go, hey, I know what I need to do. I'm going to tell them this is who I am. So I don't want that to happen. So good. So our winners tonight are Lupo, Dr. Cusho, Steve Pickey, Samuel K., and Patrick Conshack, who's Patrick's on Steemit as well, which is cool. Are the other ones on there? I don't know. What's crazy? Are you on Steemit, by the way, Sean?
I am, but I hardly ever go there because I'm so busy.
Oh.
I should have we got some social media people. I should give them that and have them do something with it. Yeah,
because I put your stuff up there too, so people can see whenever I do something. So your face is still out there. But I just love that. But people can, because everybody changes their name on all these, Steemit and Discord, and it just goes on and on, all the different Telegram and all the different things that you can go to. Everybody changes their name, and I don't know who anybody is anymore. It's like, alias. But I guess I got some of that too, so I'm glad to have some winners. Let me get back to one of the other things that you were talking about before we move on here. And by the way, it's Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis that you're watching, Crypto Connie here, and it's about the founder of CloudCoin tonight, Sean Worthington. Yay, Sean. He is giving away he gave away his educational kits for the CloudCoin. Gave away 5 of those tonight. If you're looking to purchase one, you've only got a week left to do it. Look down in the description below and you'll see the link to get you there. And it gives you all the information you need. You were talking about that you wanted to mention more of the integrity things. Is there anything else you want to mention before we close?
If that doesn't bore the hell out of people, because it is. But there's a whole bunch of these rules about what makes good digital currency, and we can compare all the digital currencies, Bitcoin with Ethereum with CloudCoin. We can come up with a point system and figure out which one is best. One of those integrities is called entity integrity, and this is who owns the money. And so it's very important that we know who owns the money, and we have problems. We have something called identity theft. And this is where somebody pretends like they're another person, and they can actually steal somebody's money based on stealing their identity. And so this is a real situation that happens in the real world. It happens with referenced money, where if I can steal the credit card and I've got the numbers, then I can steal all your money or out of your debit card or whatever. And so with dollar bills and gold and silver, it's whoever has it in their pocket is assumed to be the owner, unless there's some other kind of proof that proves otherwise. So I can't just say, hey, my money's in your pocket, and then go take it. You know, the money that's in your pocket. So physical ownership shows that you are the owner. With Bitcoin, whoever has the private key, then so too are your Bitcoins. And with CloudCoin, that's a big concern of us. And with CloudCoin, it's whoever has all of the passwords or whoever has the CloudCoin file is the one that's the owner. And so now it's becoming who knows the money as opposed to who actually has the money. So that's entity integrity. There's a bunch of other integrities, but probably the biggest one is privacy.
Right.
And so, like I said, with CloudCoin, we like to have our money private. We don't imagine that I got a dollar bill and it said everybody that ever owned it, who they gave it to, what they spent it on. We don't want that kind of information. That's what the blockchain does. With CloudCoin, we don't have any of that information to track. It's much more efficient, much more private, and so you're going to really like CloudCoin because of that.
Yeah, it is private, and they're two separate things without a doubt. And it is interesting that you said what you said, because I know a lot of people that got into the cryptocurrency world because they believed that they weren't being tracked and nobody would know what they had, and it is absolutely out there for the world to see everything they've done, how many names they have.
Right.
I mean, it can absolutely be tracked down to the T. So that's amazing. That is so amazing. But yours is very private. Let me just check the boards one more time. I think we've answered pretty much all the questions. Let me see here. Wah, wah, wah. When coins split, who determines who becomes a new agent?
That's a good question, and we're working that out right now, because the RAIDA is actually different than the CloudCoin Consortium. And we have these tests that we give RAIDA administrators, and basically they can't be communists, they can't be socialists. They've got to be libertarians who believe in freedom, and make sure they're unlikely to try to mess with the monetary system. And so up till now, it's been me. I've been the one that says you're going to be the RAIDA administrator, and that process cannot go on, because I can't be the sole person that decides that. Otherwise, if something was to happen to me, there'd be some question about, well, who's going to... So we've got to come up with a process of doing that, and we haven't quite done that yet. Well, that's part of our phase 5.
Okay, well, that was the next question. What is the incentive to become an agent? How do you become an agent? Yeah.
So the incentive is that you'd get paid quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so all of the RAIDA administrators right now are very happy that they've become RAIDA administrators. How do you become it? Well, we prefer to find people. We prefer to recruit other people than to have them come to us. And the reason is because we don't want the Chinese government or the CIA or whatever throwing people towards us and saying, hey, I'm a good candidate. Right. And then we hire them, and they're actually an agent. So we prefer to go out and find other people.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know if somebody sends it. I don't know what this other one is. I don't know if that's a question or a joke or what. So, Patrick, you can figure out what to do with it. We're going to get it to you, but you can figure out what to do with it from there, okay? If you want to give it to someone else. He was like, no, you can have, somebody else can have it, because and not in a bad way. He doesn't not that it's mean. He doesn't not want it that way, but he's kind of a giver, kind of a dude from what I'm learning about him. So no, Patrick, hang on to it and give it to somebody. Go that route. Unless somebody else wants it right now, you can talk amongst yourselves in the chat while we'll wrap it up here at the end. I know you got to get to your family, and I think Penny is just dying to go out to take a potty. I think that's what's going on here, and I don't want her to do it on me.
Yes.
I don't need that. So before we wrap it up here, is there anything else that you want to say that you haven't gotten across that you'd like to tell people about CloudCoin that maybe they don't, know about, or maybe about yourself or the future or what to expect?
Well, just keep in mind that CloudCoin is all self-funded, and so it's slow going, and that's kind of frustrating. We're almost done with our first year of being operational, but I think that some great things are going to happen this next year, and we're going to be able to dominate the digital currency space. We're going to dominate retail, and so it's going to be a exciting year next year. And I just say stick with CloudCoin.
Stick with CloudCoin. All right, well, hang in there. That's for sure. Well, Sean, thank you for being a part of this. I love that you've done the live Q&A for us. I'm just going to check to make sure there's nothing else over here. I might have skipped some along the way, but I'm thinking that I kind of caught everything, and I hope I did. So I want to thank everybody that showed up as well for the live Q&A. I absolutely appreciate that. So, Sean, thank you. I know you're a blue rocker now, so you know our little meet and greet, and he did it. You got to teach your kids that too. So hang in there, Sean. We'll be right back, and thank you for being a part of Blue Rock Talk once again. I appreciate that. So all you blue rockers out there, thank you so much as well for being a part of it. Our winners tonight, Alupo, Dr. Cusho, Steve Pickey, Samuel K., your winners of the educational kit. Patrick Konchak is also one of our winners. You guys please get a hold of Sean at CloudCoin at protonmail.com. CloudCoin at protonmail.com. Thank you guys again. Thank Penny for stopping by, and I appreciate that you guys are blue rockers. Please join me on Steemit. Please join me down below on all the other areas that you can reach me on social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the like button. And any other link that you're going to need, it's right down below. So until we meet again, everybody, this is Connie Willis, Crypto Connie, for Blue Rock Talk. Thanks for joining us tonight, talking about the CloudCoin with Sean Worthington, the founder.